Before diving into prompt engineering, চলুন দেখে নেওয়া যাক what the basic elements of a prompt are. Okay, so back to our question that we asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT কে আমরা জিজ্ঞাসা করেছিলাম who were the last 5 FIFA World Cup champions, and in response ChatGPT provided the response in a list like formats, okay, from 1 to 5. এবং এই particular response was not very readable, right? So instead we formulated our question, our prompt in a different way. ঠিক আছে, আমরা চ্যাট জিপিটিকে we asked the same question but we provided more details. We were very specific and we clearly described the output format. আমরা চ্যাট জিপিটিকে specifically বলে দিয়েছিলাম don't just give the names or info about the FIFA World Cup champions, you have to provide the output in a tabular format. Okay, এবং চ্যাট জিপিটির এই particular response, it was actually much better compared to what we saw before. Okay, so let us try to dissect this particular prompt. Okay, so if you notice, this portion of the prompt provide the details of the last 5 FIFA World Cup champions. This particular portion is called the instruction, right? And instruction, it basically is the most significant part or element of a prompt, right? So when we are trying to ask something to ChatGPT, যখন ChatGPT থেকে we want some output, we want some response, it always begins with a single topic, right? We have a single purpose. In this particular case, the purpose was we want to know the most recent 5 World Cup champions. Okay, and this portion, this instruction, no matter what you ask to ChatGPT, right? হতে পারে you want to summarize a text, maybe you want to translate something, হতে পারে you want some sort of explanation, right? Whatever it is, when you know what to ask, all you do is you command ChatGPT with words like summarize, translate, explain, solve. In this particular case, it is provide, right? Provide the details of the last 5 World Cup champions. And not only I instructed ChatGPT, I also made sure ChatGPT কে আমি এটিও বুঝিয়ে দিয়েছি how to provide the output, how it should complete my instruction, right? So if you see the following portion, this particular part is what we call the output indicator. Okay, so if instruction, it defines what to ask ChatGPT, then output indicator, it pretty much defines how to ask ChatGPT, right? So output indicator, এটা basically আমাদের output format, right? আমি ChatGPT কে দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি how it should format the output. Although output indicator, it's not mandatory. Even if we omitted, আমরা যদি এই particular portion, if we omitted this output indicator, ChatGPT would still be able to complete my instruction, right? Instruction, this is a vital part of a prompt. There has to be an instruction, right? And although not mandatory, output indicator, it was the very reason we got our output in a more readable format, right? So instead of listing down the output, ChatGPT, just because of this output indicator, it provided output in a more organized way. And now let us see another element. Okay, consider this particular prompt. ChatGPT কে আমি instruct করছি translate the given sentence to Bangla. So this is the instruction, right? As you can see, we are commanding ChatGPT with this particular word, translate, right? So the instruction is quite clear. we have to translate an English sentence to Bangla. But then প্রশ্ন হলো, okay, but what to translate? Okay, we have to translate this portion of the sentence, right? And this portion is what we call input data. Okay, so a particular instruction, it requires an input data. ChatGPT, we asked ChatGPT কে আমরা বলেছি do some processing on a given input, or basically translate the given input sequence, and this is the input. So far so good, it's a wonder for me. A similar example would be this piece of Python code. Okay, so again, like before, amra ChatGPT ke we are instructing ChatGPT to explain the following Python code. This is our instruction, but ChatGPT tar ekta piece of Python code proyojon, right? It needs that Python code for completing our instruction, right? So this particular piece of Python code is the input data. So there goes another element. And how about this example? ChatGPT ke we are prompting ChatGPT by saying, I have received a job offer for a product manager position, but I'm not sure how to negotiate my salary. Can you provide me with some advice on how to negotiate effectively? So like before, this particular portion is our instruction. Only in this case, amra amader instruction, we are putting this at the end of our prompt, right? It really depends on the situation. But how about this portion of the sentence? A particular portion jekhane amra ChatGPT ke we are providing it with some sort of backstory, right? So ChatGPT ke amra bolchi, well, complete my instruction, give me some advice, but at the same time take ami bole dicchi, well, before you give me any advice, be aware je kotheke amar ei instruction asche, right? I'm only asking you this question because I just received a job offer for a product manager and I'm confused on how to negotiate my salary, right? So we're giving ChatGPT some sort of context. Okay, amra bujhiye dicchi, right? Before you process my instruction, you complete my instruction, you must keep this additional information in mind. Okay, so jokhon we are applying for, say, a job and we have to build our resume, usually amra jeta kori, we take help of websites that actually provide templates, right? Jemon a particular website, Kick Resume, it uses AI to build your resume. We have Resume AI, which takes advantage of ChatGPT. We also have this Rezi.ai, which claims to be the smartest GPT powered resume builder. Okay, why not use ChatGPT to do the same? Canada, we take the help of ChatGPT to build our resume, right? Although we can argue which one would be better, we can give it a go, right? So if I instruct ChatGPT, write, say, an intro for my resume, not bad, right? But যদি আপনি notice করেন, this particular response, it's still quite generalized, right? What I really want is an intro that is very personalized, okay, that really describes myself. Okay, so let us use different prompt elements to achieve that. Okay, So let me edit this particular prompt. So let us define the format of the intro. Okay, the intro should have the following format. Number 1, say আমাদের intro, it should have a bold title, okay, and the title, it should have my name, which is this, right? Then say for the second format, say we want the intro to have an italicized subtitle, okay, and say the subtitle should contain the following: my location, email, and say my GitHub account. Okay, let's see how ChatGPT performs. Okay, much better, right? But it is still lacking personalization, right? It still doesn't know, say, my areas of expertise. So I have to provide ChatGPT with additional information. So let's edit the prompt again. আমার instructionের আগে, before my instruction, let's say I provide ChatGPT with some additional context. Okay, so ChatGPT কে আমি clearly বলে দিচ্ছি, before you follow my instruction, you should keep in mind that I'm actually a passionate software developer and AI enthusiast, and I specialize and love the field of prompt engineering, and I work with SaaS products. I develop SaaS solutions. Okay, now if I submit, it's getting much better, right? Let's say I add some more interesting formats. Okay, let's say I define and ask ChatGPT to follow a third formatting indicator. Say আমি চাচ্ছি আমার intro, it should start with something a bit more catchy. Okay, so after the title and subtitle, we should have the intro description, right? So in this case, আমি ChatGPT কে বলে দিচ্ছি the intro description, it should start with say I am a full stack developer by heart, and say I am a full-time AI enthusiast by passion. Okay, so full stack software developer, full-time AI enthusiast, it rhymes, right? And you see the intro, it's very lengthy. আমি চাচ্ছি আমার intro, it should be within say 5 to 6 sentences. Okay, so as a fourth formatting, I define the intro description should be within 5 to 6 sentences. Okay, so now I think the prompt looks quite good, and now if I submit, the response, the output is quite good, right? And the best thing is, a particular intro, এটা কিন্তু personalized. It exactly describes myself. Okay, let me chain this particular prompt with another instruction. I say shorten the description even more. Okay, and there you go. This output looks pretty good, right? So you see, I just demonstrated how you can engineer prompts by using different prompt elements. Okay, so আমরা শুরু করেছিলাম from a very simple instruction, right? Write an intro for my resume, and the output was very generalized, right? And we did not like the format. So যেটা আমরা করেছি, in the next iteration we added some formatting, and not only that, we added some input data. Okay, so instructioner পাশাপাশি chat gpt কে we provided it with formatting, right? তাকে আমি formatting বা output indicator provide করেছি. Not only that, I provided it with input data, for example my name, then our location, email, github. These are all input data, right? And then for further personalization, I even provided chat gpt with additional context. Okay, and finally, to make things more interesting, আমি chat gpt কে specifically দেখিয়ে দিয়েছি what should my intro description start with, and this again is what? An input data. And chat gpt, it actually followed my instruction. It started with a title which is my name, এবং এই টাইটেলটা কিন্তু it's in bold font face. These are the subtitles, my location, then email, GitHub profile. This is my subtitle, which is what? Italicized. Okay, and then the third instruction যেখানে বলেছি what should my intro start with, it also followed that instruction. And finally তাকে আমি বলেছি to keep the description short, within 5 to 6 sentences. ChatGPT actually followed the instruction, but the sentences are still quite lengthy. Okay, so তাকে আমি instruct করেছি with a chain prompt, right? So a particular prompt, it's dependent on this prompt. Okay, so this is basically a follow-up prompt which says shorten the description even more, and there you go. This particular intro is what I really wanted. Okay, so you have to know what you want, and you have to instruct ChatGPT accordingly. And to get to what you really want, you have to trial and error. Okay, যেমনটা আমরা এখানে করেছি, right? We did not get this particular response in a single trial, right? We corrected the prompt over and over again until আমরা আমাদের desired output পেয়েছি, right? So what were the elements of our prompt? This write an intro for my resume was the instruction. Then আমরা chat gpt কে instruct করেছি to follow this format, right? So this entire part is our output indicator where we define the format of our output, এবং a particular data under double quotation, a particular data, these are our input data, right? ChatGPT a particular dataর উপরে কাজ করেছে, right? And finally at the very top we have the context, right? ChatGPT কে আমরা বুঝিয়েছি before you complete my instruction, right? Before you follow the particular format of my instruction, before you deal with the input data, you should keep this context in mind, right? So context is basically what? Additional information, so that we can better specify what we really want, right? A particular example है, ChatGPT के I provided him with information, additional information about myself, okay? And combining all these elements আমাদেরকে দিয়েছে the best possible output, right? So final question, which elements to use? আমরা কি প্রত্যেকটা element, all these 4 elements, should we use all of them? It really depends on your situation, okay? What do you really want, okay? So other than আপনার instruction, does your output needs formatting? Then use output indicator. If you want ChatGPT to be aware of some additional information, then use context. Jodi apni chan ChatGPT it should process on some data, then provide it with input data, right? And last but not the least, you have to trial and error with different combinations until you get what you want, okay?